and they might fall back down. So that little push out thing there is a very nice addition to have. And these blocks here, this glass is necessary to have because if you don't have those blocks there, which it doesn't have to be glass, then the person will fall straight off. And I'm going to show you guys how to build that. Alright guys, so we're back here, and the first thing you want to do to start off with our piston elevator is you want to build a 8 by 7 block hole. Now, this piston elevator surprisingly only needs 5 things. There's no torches required. But it does require a lot of those 5 things. So, let's start off by placing 3 blocks, one space apart like this in the sort of bottom left side of your hole. Now, in the middle of those, you're going to place 3 repeaters facing this way, all set to the delay of 3. So there's that. Now we're going to lead redstone wire out to the side like this, and this is where our timing will go. Now we're gonna lead these repeaters. One second. We're gonna lead 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 repeaters. Oops. Make sure those are all on 4, all of them. And we're gonna make sure that these repeaters, both these little pieces of redstone, light up at the same time, because that is very important, so that the pistons don't get messed up. We're going to do the same with the other side, except it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to place 5 blocks, excuse me, 5 repeaters, a piece of redstone, and then your 6th repeater, all of them set to 4. Now we're going to lead this little piece of redstone to a block, 2 blocks actually. And then right in front of these 3 repeaters, you're gonna place a piece of redstone. Now this is where our pressure plate is going to go. And right where this piece of redstone leads into this block, we're gonna place another block. Actually, we're gonna place just a regular piston. Sorry. So that when you step on this pressure plate, it lights up and activates that first one. Now notice how these pieces of redstone back here both light up at the same time. That's very important, so make sure the repeaters are timed perfectly. Now earlier I found out that the timing, as I just said, must be all on 4. It turns out that just this first repeater has to be on 2. So make sure that's on 2, like that. Okay, so now that we have the base down, we're going to start building the pattern. Most of these piston elevators are usually a pattern, including this one. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take our sticky pistons and regular pistons, and we're going to kind of make them into a checkered sort of pillar. So there's a sticky piston facing this way, and then the regular piston facing upward. So we're going to do this. Excuse me. This is going to be as tall as you want. Make sure that they're in a sidestep motion, and make sure that the first piston, whoopsies, make sure that the first piston right here is to the right of this. You don't want it right here, because then the order will be all messed up. So sticky piston, regular piston, 2 blocks, and you get the idea of the checkered motion. You might have seen that earlier in the elevator I had built over there. Alright, so I think that's tall enough. It can be as tall as you want, doesn't matter, same concept with everything else. I just want to warn you, this does take up quite a lot of space, so make sure that you have some empty space back here to work with, just in case. Now you're going to take your block, of choice. It's a solid block. Do not use glass because it can't work anyway. We're going to extend these out. Oops. We're going to extend these out. One block. Okay. Sorry if there's any lag. As I said in my previous videos, this is a laptop. So, there we have that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to place repeaters on no delay at the front of these extensions. So like this. And there we go. Now what it's going to do is when these sticky pistons are activated, these will push out, and then, oops, I forgot these pillars. Make sure that you place a pillar like this in front of these repeaters, because it will not work if you do not place that. What it's going to do is these pistons are going to push out, the piston will be here, and then this powers this block, which powers this piston. So when these push out, this piston will push up. Okie dokie, so now that we got that down, what we're going to do is we're going to start working on the wiring for the back of these sticky pistons. Now the timing has to be exactly right. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the smaller side. And you're going to place a repeater on delay of 3 in back of every one of these pistons. We'll get to those ones later. But you're going to place another repeater like this. And what this is going to do, oopsies. What this is going to do is this repeater here is going to power this block, which this powers this block, and like I said earlier, how this powers this block, and then that piston. I know it's very confusing, but it's going to work. Okay, so what we're going to do is the way we transfer the signal up to the other ones is very simple. You'll get used to it. What we're going to do is we're going to place a repeater right here on 1. Then we're going to lead it up. Oops. We're going to lead it up in an S shape. So, for example, we're going to place this here. This repeater powers this block, which will have redstone right there, which powers the redstone up here. Okay, so you have to have all of these on 1, or else it will not work. The timing, it'll go too fast, and all the repeaters will stick. So now what we do is we're going to lead this sort of up in an S shape. I'll show you what I mean by that. You're going to place 3 repeaters, and it goes back and forth. You're going to do the repeater facing that way for 1, then you're going to put 3 repeaters facing that way, then 1, and then 3, and then you'll see what I mean. Now you're going to always set these repeaters behind the sticky pistons on 4. You're just going to place a block right there in front of the middle repeater, and you're going to put the very left repeater on 1. Now we're just going to do the exact opposite of what we did down here, and we're going to make it an S formation. Like I said before, this repeater is going to power this block. Oops, make sure that's on no delay. Going to place this on 4, another block, and then like this. Oops, I messed up there. Make sure that these are always on 1. Okie dokie, so there is our right side. You don't have to place another repeater here. There's no point because it's not leading anywhere. But you get the point where it leads in sort of an S shape. And now we're going to do the same exact thing with this right side, because we still have to do the right side. Except it's going to start 1 level up. So what we're going to do is we're going to lead our redstone trail up here. And these will connect. Now we do not want that, so what you're going to do is you're just going to go ahead and place a block right there so that this is not connected to this right here. And we're going to do the same exact, make sure that's always, on 4. And we're going to place another repeater here. Make sure that's on 1. And we're going to make our second floor. Okie dokie. Make sure that these do not connect. We're going to start our other floor. Okie dokie. And there we have it. There we go. We have those connected, and it should start to look something like this. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, we forgot. We do need blocks here. We do need. Oh, whoops. I'm just adding an extra column here. You don't have to do this. But we place our blocks. I recommend glass because it lets you see out the front, like so. And now I'm going to show you guys how to do the push-off. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to lead another S trail. I like to call them S trails. We're going to lead them off over here. Whoops, we're going to have to place a block there. And we're going to place our sticky pistons here so that this pushes these blocks, so that this pushes these blocks out onto the platform, which will probably be right here. And we're going to need to find out how to power these. So what we do is we put our repeaters on all delay, and we just power that like that. Now let's see how our elevator works out. Make sure you cover all this up. Okie dokie. So let's test that out. Get right in the middle of this block and this piston. And it works perfectly. Now, you may figure out, you can mess around with the timing down here. You can mess around with how long you want these, how long you want these delayed for. It's best if you make them all the way delayed, so you have enough time to settle in here. But just remember a tip, you have to be in between this piston and this first block here, so that it's pushing you up through the middle like so. It's a nice addition to have that pushing off like that. And there you have it, people. There you have yourself a super fast piston elevator. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys later. Bye.